we get our information helps shape our opinions and perspectives, but in a growing part of the country, reliable sources of information are drying up. Vanessa Mashanya looks at how an area becomes a news desert.
There's a couple of Emmys.
In the basement of retired journalist Sally Keston's house lies a collection of just about every industry accolade you can think of.
That picture was on the Pulitzer website.
This isn't a museum of a past career. It's the hub of a new project where she and others like her are fighting to protect democracy.
Somebody called us the gray-haired Justice League.
The best way they know how.
I'm not gray yet, but I'm getting there.
This town is no Gotham, but it happened to be the place of retirement of a handful of well-decorated journalists who have decided to become vigilantes in a sense, believing they're filling a much-needed gap.
What's more important, playing golf and pickleball or actually pitching in to do something to support the local infrastructure?
Being natural observers, they notice that the local news media outlets have suffered the fate of so many smaller operations across the country. Budget cuts and slimmed down staff.
They cut expenses, and one of the first places they do that is the newsroom. So the paper here had gone from a staff of about roughly 70 editorial employees down to about a dozen. The other local media, I mean, I think they all do a wonderful job with the resources that they have, but we were all concerned about this being our community. We know what happens when there is not a strong, robust local press.
According to the University of North Carolina, 1,800 newspapers have shuttered since 2004, creating what has been dubbed news deserts, communities left without any local journalism. Sure, we see plenty of national and international news every day, but the concern with news deserts is that people in these areas are being left in the dark on local issues that impact their day-to-day. During the pandemic, at least 100 local newspapers, some more than a century old, folded, accelerating this trend.
This stack and this stack is just from my investigation. This is how I have spent the last 15 months of my life.
In the wake of all this bleak news about the news, the idea for the Asheville Watchdog was born. The retired journalist formed a nonprofit news website dedicated to bringing in-depth investigative journalism to a place that did not have much of it.
People recognize the kind of watchdog journalism that we do is critical to have a functioning democracy.
They hope to inspire others to create similar innovative news operations in their communities. No capes necessary. And also reinforce how important keeping tabs on local government and holding the powerful accountable is.
Providing that kind of coverage, we can do our little part to try and lessen this polarization that is sort of tearing communities apart all across the country.
It's not easy, and they're hoping to garner more donations to make the operation bigger. But to them, this kind of challenge is all in a day's work.
We're able to do what we do best and do it in our beloved community and make a difference.
I'm Vanessa Mashanya.
Thank you for joining us for our look at the state of democracy in America. Join us next week. How the pandemic is creating life-altering issues for seniors that go beyond COVID-19. Until then, from Mason, Michigan, I'm Chris Stewart, and this is The Race.